I wanted to love my dad so much. I was a daddy's little girl. But he had this dark side. And that's the side that we saw a lot of. You're living in fear every single moment, because if you do step out of line, you know what's going to happen. And you don't want that to happen.
What's going to happen?
I'm in a room listening to everything go on and just hoping she's alive. The football cage was fun. I could smile. You felt free. And in home, it was like I was locked in. It was an environment where it was very much controlled.
Controlled by your father?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell me about your mother and father.
My mum, a woman that is an incredible person, full of love, full of softness, and just a light around her that wants to do everything for everyone before herself, doesn't even think about herself, doesn't even see the person that she is, because ultimately that was taken away from her. My dad, even though I see the love in my dad, I wanted to love my dad so much. I was a daddy's little girl. But he had this dark side. And that's the side that we saw a lot of growing up.
When was the first time you recall seeing your father's dark side?
I can't put an age to it, to be honest. But it was there, mostly what I can always remember. That you saw this love inside. And I always say the drink, but obviously the drink helps it come out a lot more. But you could see him turn, like his thoughts or what he was going through in his mind. That's how he took it out on, I'd say, all of us, more so my mum. But yeah, it was just, for me, it was just sad, because I could see this good in my dad that was there. When he smiled, when he was listening to music. And that's the side I just always wanted to see and was begging to stay there, but it wasn't.
In that home was you, your brother and your mum?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
These memories, how old were you when you started having these memories about this other side of your father?
Well, he left when I was 7. So from the moment, from a baby, from 2, 3, I could see and feel, you can feel it, the environment that we're in, that you're not allowed to do something, because if you do step out of line, you know what's going to happen, and you don't want that to happen.
What's going to happen?
What my mum would go through, the terror, the helplessness that you can't do anything. Yeah. So you're living in fear. You're living in fear every single moment. Hence why then the football cage becomes your escape. For me.
Did you want to go home after school, after?
Yeah. I wanted to go home to protect my mum. I wanted to go home to put a shield around her, to be strong for her, even though she was doing the same for me and my brother. But it's like you wanted to protect someone, but how can I? I can't. So my protection was to try and love my dad all I can, to keep trying to bring that side out of him. If he has the love, then maybe he'll start loving us in that way. And all those darkness and the demons will go.
Did that work?
No. No. It's weird because I sit here with you and then say it is dark, and straight away it's hard for me to talk about, because I suppose I've hid it for all this time. It's easy not to talk about it. But even though there's so much darkness, there's so much. I remember the good times with my dad. I remember going to the record shops and buying vinyls and coming back and dancing. My dad loved his music. I love my music because of that. So there's so many things that, yeah, even though all those dark times, I know because of everything that I've gone through, I am the person I am now. You have to take the good bits and the bad bits, and it's what makes me me.
In the book, you talk about 2 vivid memories you have of that time, and one of them being the day your mother did speak back to your dad at a joint birthday party.
Yeah.
Do you still remember that day?
Yeah.
What happened that day?
Stephen, we had the most amazing birthday party. It's hard because there's not many things that we've celebrated or those moments. And I don't even know how this party came about, whether it was for me and my brother or it was my dad throwing a party, because he was a big character. You know, everyone loved Tony Scott. He had this way about him. But we ended up having a birthday party in the local community, me and my brother. And just, the music, everyone was dancing. And that's where I could see my mum. You know, she was the life and soul of the party. Just her energy was so infectious. And then the party then ended in the community centre. We went back to the flat where I grew up in. And then it was just exactly, it's a tone that I know all too well, that no one else knows apart from me, my brother and my mum, when he asked her to go and get some lemonade. She was in the middle of a conversation, so a natural, no, Tony, you get your lemonade. And it was that icy tone when he repeated it. And she said no again. It's hard because I'm looking at you, but I can see her. So, Then straight away, I know what's coming. As soon as everybody leaves that night, he doesn't forget. So then we all know what's going to happen. My mum might have been brave enough and forgot in that moment because she's having fun. She's having a conversation with her friend. And then, that was the hardest night, that one. You know, the thing about the book is we've never had the conversations. So my mum is trying to survive for her kids. And then I'm in a room listening to everything go on and just hoping she's alive. But she doesn't know what me and my brother are doing or feeling until I've wrote the book.